This is your girl, Tanisha, coming to you again. How are you doing? Good. I'm glad. I really, really am. Y'all like my little headscarf? This is my ode to the Black Panther movie. But I just wanted to get on here and just maybe have a little discussion. If you want to chime in about why the Black Panther movie was so important to Black people. I've never been one of those kind of people who are just like, Black power or, the struggle. And I've never been that kind of person. I've been an African-American female, considering myself regular, and I'm just African-American. But I just wanted to break down, in my perspective, why this movie was so important to Black people. And I'm so grateful that it was made. Not to just create in me a sense of pride of being Black, but it was... If you watched it and you've seen the movie, it was twice that I've seen the movie. From this movie, I gathered a sense of connection. If you're here in America and you are an African American, you come to the realization that we really don't have a culture in America as Black people. I'm not talking about Africans on the continent of Africa. I'm not talking about other people in the diaspora. I'm talking about here in America, African Americans who are the descendants of slaves. We don't really have a culture per se. You can find people of other races and ethnicities who can say, I'm Jewish and I can reach back and find my culture, or I'm Asian and I can reach back and find my culture, or I'm Hispanic and I can reach back and find my culture. This movie gave us as African Americans an opportunity to connect to some form of culture. That is really what it is. It gave us an opportunity to connect to some form of culture. Being here in America is just like, really with African Americans, we're taught that our existence began with slavery. Like that's how we came into existence. We came into existence as slaves. And that's kind of what society here in America teaches you. Society here in America teaches you as an African American that you're second-class citizen, if not even third or fourth-class citizen. Society here in America teaches you that if you're African American, your facial features and your body structure is not beautiful. It teaches you that, certain things are pretty and you're not it. It teaches you that certain things can be successful, but you're not those people who can be successful. I'm just talking about what American culture, the undertones that it presents to us as African Americans. Okay, so it presents to us that, poverty is what we're supposed to live in and what we're supposed to stay in and who we're supposed to become. Our American society tells us that, we're only supposed to have scraps. We're not supposed to have our own. We're just supposed to get whatever falls from the table. And that's what we should enjoy. And that's what we should shut up, eat, and be happy about. That's what American society, the undertones, in my personal opinion, that's what they put onto African Americans. So when this movie came out and I saw this movie, in this movie, again, it gives African Americans an opportunity to say, you know what? Those are my people. That's where I originate from. Before the slavery, before the European colonization, that's where I can look to. That's where I originated from. Because as African Americans, we really don't have that. So for us to have a movie that kind of gives us at least a peek, just a peek into what our original culture was, could have been, is, that's an opportunity that is grand beyond measure. So when people want to dress up in African costumes and go out and support a Black movie that employed hundreds of Black actors, that had a Black director, if I'm not mistaken, that sold more in one day than some movies have sold over their entire existence. And then when I've seen the movie and I saw in the movie how the Black people were portrayed as intelligent, as beautiful, as majestic, as royal, as important, as capable, as able, as a family. When I saw that, that's why that movie is important to Black people. Black people, especially here in America, we get portrayed in every way under the sun. We are portrayed as thoughts. We are portrayed as junkies. We are portrayed as liars. We are portrayed as stealers or thieves. We are portrayed as conniving. We are portrayed as ignorant. We are portrayed as uneducated. We are portrayed by American society as a whole lot of negative things. So when a movie comes and says, you know what, I'm going to flip the script and portray y'all in a way that's positive, in a way that's uplifting, in a way that says, you know what, we recognize your glory and your intelligence. That's what that movie did. Despite what propaganda is pushed by MSNBC, Fox News, or whatever other channel, that movie glorified Black people in positive manners that no one with the right sense of mind could not appreciate. You can't not appreciate that. The only people who can't appreciate that are probably the people who are used to seeing their people in a positive light. White people may not understand why Black people are so just in arms about this movie. It's not just that it was a movie, but it was a portrayal. It was a, hey, look, these people are doing it. They're advanced. They're above and beyond. They're not just the bottom of the... That's why this movie, to me, was important. It created around the spirit behind this movie. If you ever get a chance and you get an opportunity to hear Chadwick talk about what all led up to this movie, the spirit behind this movie is one of unification. It's one of community. These are all the things that I personally would like to see actually in the African American community. That's why this movie is important. It says that, look, Black people, y'all are capable. Even though we knew this, but to see it reflected on the big screen and to see it coming at us in unadulterated amounts for about 2 hours, that yes, you're beautiful, you're gorgeous, you're intelligent, you're capable. That was really refreshing. That was refreshing, especially when you come from a race that if I go turn on the news right now, I promise you I'm going to see about 4 or 5 stories about people who look like me or a few shades lighter, a few shades darker that look like me portrayed in a negative manner. I promise you that. I'm willing to bet almost all my finances on that. So with that being what it is, can we just have a moment to bask in the fact that we are an intelligent people, that we are a capable people, that we are a loving, unified people, that in our neighborhood, we can have neighborhood next to neighborhood and we can come together and get stuff done? I'm not trying to spoil the movie for you if you've not seen it, but even in the country of Wakanda, tribe was next to tribe was next to tribe, and they came together. And this tribe helped that tribe. They coexisted peacefully. They prospered peacefully. They grew and became peacefully. How can you not appreciate that? And then the people worried about the people who chose to, put on a costume. First of all, it's their money, it's their body, it's their costume. Let me say that again. It's their money, it's their body, it's their costume. We don't get mad when you put on a 36-inch weave and you got eyebrows all the way to the top of your forehead. We don't get mad at your costume. We don't get mad. We don't tell you anything. We just say, look at that. So why would it be a problem for anyone, whether they dress up like Coming to America, whether they dress up like Mufasa from The Lion King, whoever they dress up with, if they go out and support, the only person who's really worried or concerned about somebody who's going out to support is a pessimistic person, probably wishing they had that same kind of support. You see what I'm saying? That's a hater move. In 2018, we should be past hating on somebody because they're enjoying something that's not even harmful to anyone. Hundreds of people come to Atlanta every year around August and September for what's called Dragon Con. In August, I think MomoCon, Comic Con, where they dress up from the T, from top to foot, as whatever character they want to dress up as, walk around the city of Atlanta looking all kinds of interesting, and that's okay. That's just what they do. But when black people take some kind of ownership of something, then it's an issue. Y'all really gotta, I don't know what the word is, but y'all really gotta grow up. Like, I think that's a good word. Y'all gotta grow up. One, you gotta let people be people. If you don't want to dress up, by all means, wear them fake Louboutins or whatever pocketbook you want to wear to the movies and just enjoy yourself. But for those who want to, I mean, it's not hurting you. It's not really a problem. You can have your opinion because we all have our opinion. But I'm proud to see so many black people get behind a movement. What other movement or cultural thing have we as black people really gotten behind since, like, the Black Lives Matters? But that was based on tragedy. This is based on happiness and enjoyment, and you still have a problem? It just sounds like to me some people just gonna have a problem with just being a problem because you probably the problem. I'm just saying. So this movie was important for several reasons. It allowed black people to see themselves in a positive light. And granted, we see ourselves in a positive light every day when we look in the mirror and get up and get dressed and go out here and deal with this world and come back and take care of our families and make sure everything is in order and make sure we stay on top of whatever we have to take care of as far as responsibilities. We see ourselves in a positive light all the time, every day when we look in the mirror. But if you look at media portrays us as all kinds of animals, as all kinds of, we just rabbits out here having babies. All we do is know how to smoke and drink and steal. Come on now. And then something comes and portrays us in a total 360-degree measure. I can't do nothing but appreciate that. I can't do anything but appreciate that. I can't do anything but just applaud. I can't do anything but go see the movie twice like I did and let my little few dollars support what they're doing, because that opens the door for more movies that portray us in a positive manner to come out. See, some people so narrow-minded and they're so one-sided in their thinking that they can't see a thing for the big picture. You see how this movie just moved a nation, a world, culturally impacted us? Do you see how this movie just did that? Do you not know that now you're probably going to get ready to see a whole lot of movies that portray us in a positive manner? Don't you want that? I felt good telling my son after I left this movie. I said, you know what? I pointed to that screen. I said, you see those black men that are strong and intelligent and positive and doing good things? I said, that's the kind of black man you are. That felt good to be able to tell my son that. I can't tell my son that while I'm watching the news. I can't say, hey. My only, really pinpoint thing that I can say, you know what, that's who you want to be like, is Barack Obama. We done wore him out as our poster child. Barack probably like, dang, y'all, I'm not in office no more. Can I get a break now? Can I let my hair down? So that's why it's important to me, in my perspective. If you've not seen the movie, I encourage you to go see it. And I don't really endorse a lot of things or people, but I truly believe that if you have the opportunity to see it. And see it not only from, this is a movie, I'm coming to enjoy it, but open yourself up to receive an experience. Listen to the things that they're saying. And see how, if anything in there is something that you could positively apply to your life as an African American. Am I saying that white people won't enjoy this movie? No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that the experience that black people have, African Americans, versus what a white person or other race may experience is different. Because I don't see Hispanics, Asians, white Americans being portrayed in a negative manner consistently, obviously, openly, with no equivocation about it. Like, hey, y'all bad people is what's being portrayed. When I look at the news and when I see media, especially women, the women in this movie, they were portrayed as man. These females, they were about their business, and they were They maintain a level of grace and dignity in the midst of the situation. Not all that other stuff they want to portray black women as. Attitudinal and mean and nasty and popping this and twerking this. All that other stuff that they portray black women as. That's another reason why I fell in love with this movie. And another thing that I loved about this movie was in the midst of this, and this is real talk, the black women had the black man's back. I'm going to clap for myself on that. Because that's really what's going on. Black women be having the backs of black men out here in these streets. Now, whether she got a nasty attitude while she got his back, and whether he ain't quite risen to his level of potential or whatever it is, black women be having the backs of black men out here. And it demonstrated that. Those black women had his back. Do you understand what I'm saying? They were loyal to the cause. And the black men were strong. They did not portray themselves as weak. They were not jellyback. When they said a thing, that thing was. You see what I'm saying? They portrayed them powerful. They portrayed them regal. You understand what I'm saying? They portrayed them that when they had a cause, they knew how to be loyal to the cause. They knew how to care for their communities. That's another thing I loved about this movie. It portrayed black men as men who care about their communities and nurture their communities and step foot into a situation with solutions to a problem instead of being the problem. That's why I love this movie. And it's been a long time since I've been adamant and excited about a movie. I'm a moviegoer. But there's been a long time since I just really been excited about this. But it's because it culturally impacts us. I believe that movies culturally can impact a society. I'm going down my timeline, people talking about Black Panther this, Black Panther. It was like almost a level of unity that took place between black people. The same level of unity I wish that we could take, bottle it up, and put that on the shelf to where when another cause comes, we're still unified. We still can get on one accord and make things happen. We made it happen with that movie. Not saying us alone, but we made it happen with that movie. We represented for the team with that movie. Do you understand what I'm saying? If we could take that same tenacity, again, bottle it up, and become a unified people and become real community minded. And I'm not trying to be on some old black power type stuff, but my thing is this: I am clearly and obviously an African American female. So I'm concerned with my life. I'm concerned with the life of my son, the life of my family. Of course, I don't want him getting shot down in the street and being even though he's an intelligent man, being pressed down because of systematic racism. These are all the things that I don't want to happen. But if I can use some tools like this movie to get him to see himself in a positive manner, in addition to all the positiveness I pour into him, this is a great tool. I encourage you as a parent to let your children see this. Let them see this movie. Let them see that there's more than what Quavo and the Migos saying about them. That there's more than Cardi B talking about F them and then get some money. There's more than, let's smoke this, let's drink this, let's get high, and let's more to life than that. That's why this movie was important. It was almost like we out here dying of thirst. This movie was a cold, cool, refreshing glass of water. And I gulped it up twice. So I just wanted to get on here and share with y'all my opinion about this movie. Whether you care or don't care, I don't know. Somebody may. But I just wanted to encourage you that the same feeling you feel now, like see how you can take that feeling and that pride that you have, and not bad pride, but that pride about how of an African American being portrayed in a positive light. See if you can convert that to energy in somewhere, whether in your community. Are there some children that you can kind of mentor? Are there some communities where they don't have a lot of resources and you have resources that you can give? Is there, some teenage mothers who don't really have anybody to show them, hey, this is how you can be a woman with dignity. Get out here, get your education and your paper, and still don't have to sacrifice and compromise your morals. Like, see where you can bottle that energy up and where you can apply it. That's just my encouragement. Can you teach kids how to be entrepreneurs at an early age? So when they get 16, 17, 18, 25, they are already millionaires. And they can take that money and give back into their community. Can you do that? Whatever your gift is, whatever your hands can do, I just pray and really hope that this movie, and I know it's just a movie, but behind this movie was a spirit. And that spirit was a great, powerful, awesome spirit. If you could take that spirit and apply it somewhere in your own personal life and become a light wherever you are, a whole bunch of lights shining, it gets brighter. It gets brighter. But when everybody in darkness and, oh, well, we might as well just go along with the darkness, it gets darker. That's just life. So I just wanted to get on here, not to preach, not to be on no soapbox or anything like that, but I wanted to share my opinion because I'm impressed. I'm impressed, again, to this movie. Again. So if you get a chance, check it out. Enjoy it. Soak it in. You know, and be good. That's all I can say about the situation. I hope y'all have a wonderful Sunday. Give you a big hug from afar. And until next time, bye.